name is Ciela Mazzantini, and for today's informative speech, I want to bring awareness to the topic of social media and how it affects both men and women in their both mental and physical aspects. The effects of social media on men and women are drastically detrimental to their mental and physical health. We are constantly flooded of beautiful models or buff male models. We constantly see this all over social media, magazines, TVs, commercials, billboards, you name it. We are always seeing it all over the place. By constantly seeing this, we always want to change ourselves. We always say, wow, I really want to look like them. I, in fact, do it myself. So, by this, constantly seeing all these models, it has helped develop certain types of eating disorders and mental issues. The three eating disorders that I will be bringing awareness to today are anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating. So going back to what I was originally saying, there is a Bible verse and it states, "You are altogether beautiful, my love. There is no flaw in you." Now if this is said by God himself, why do we change it upon ourselves to look like someone else? Why do we cause harm to ourselves to look like someone else? In today's world, we have technology. Technology is an amazing thing. It's made many advancements and has helped us in both medical field, physical field, everywhere. So, with that being said, while it does have its positives, it also has its negatives. Some negatives may be constant sharing of things, constant posting of things. People can always say things that they don't mean. They can always change the way they look, but that's not really who they are. So while we can constantly see stuff shared all throughout social media, models are a main thing. Actually we compare ourselves to models 88% time a day. Models are constantly being shown and we constantly think that, wow, they're so perfect, they're so beautiful, I wish I looked like them. While that may be true, we don't understand that models undergo these same things. They compare themselves, they wish they looked different. So, while we may think that they are this perfect human being, Sarah Ziff wanted to bring awareness to that. All people see are the beautiful faces and beautiful bodies of these models, but they don't see the actual story behind the scenes. All we see is a picture-perfect moment. Sarah Ziff is trying to bring awareness that even though models set the standards or wants on how to look, they also suffer from mental issues and eating disorders. She states, over 62% reported being asked to lose weight, change their shape or size by the agency or someone else. Now imagine hearing this, a model hearing this. Models are actually already considered to be underweight by the World Health Organization standards. That's crazy to think that models themselves are asked to change. We, normal humans, want to constantly look like models, but even the models themselves, they are being compared to say, oh, you need to get skinnier, or you need to lose weight. Another way to show that social media has affected us is in Fiji. In 2002, a study was taken on television and how television had affected Fijian women and the way they visualize their own bodies. The Fijians did not have Western television prior to 1995. Now, keeping this in mind, 3 years after they had gained television, they did a test on Fijian women. 11.3 had induced self-vomiting, 69% reported dieting, and 70% reported feeling fat or big. Now this is a way that social media has changed and warped our minds. We see things and we constantly think, I want to look like them, and we don't understand the physical things that we put on our body. We put ourselves through certain dietings that is not good for us. So the 3 types of eating disorders that are pushed by social media are bulimia, anorexia, and binge eating. Binge eating is as the same thing as if you're to binge watch a show. So if you binge watch a show, what do? You watch a show all until it's done. That's the same thing with binge eating. When you binge eat, you can go days without eating, but then one day you're just like, wow, I just want to eat everything. So this causes your body to not know how to hold on to food because it never knows when you're going to eat. So when you eat drastically like this, it just saves all the food that you ate and eventually you end up gaining weight. The other one is bulimia, something that I personally struggle with. Bulimia is when you make yourself throw up after you eat. It is harmful because you have special acids in your stomach, and it can cause decaying of the teeth, and it can also mess up your throat. The last one is actually one of the most deadliest. It's anorexia. Anorexia is when a unhealthily skinny person constantly views themselves as being fat, and they literally starve themselves. They'll starve themselves or have these really odd eating patterns. One of the studies done shows that one study of young girls with anorexia found that 60% of participants exhibited suicidal behaviors, 49% exhibited self-harm behaviors. Another reported that roughly 17% of people with anorexia attempt suicide at least once in their lives. Now, with eating disorders, there's constantly always one to follow up. There's always a mental issue behind it. Now, while we also like to bring awareness to females and their eating disorders, we tend to forget that men also deal with these things. Men like to have the security of masculinity, but it's okay to say that you need help. While in today's world, men actually do have a lot of eating disorders along with mental issues. It's actually said that 42% of men do have eating disorders, and a high percentage of those men with eating disorders actually tend to be gay or part of the LGBTQ community. So why do we inflict all these eating disorders on ourselves? One may not know. In Genesis 1:27, it states, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them." With this being said, God made us in his own image. So why do we constantly go out and harm ourselves? Thank you. Okay.